it's like if you this week the I ended up doing so many other odds and ends, but like one of them is I had to fix the irrigation at dad's house. So he like him and Ian drilled a couple holes, like big holes in the ground to build the fence posts, and they hit a couple water lines. So I like cut and measured all these pieces, like dug it up, and was gonna redo the piping. And then I had it all like measured, and I work with this kind of piping all the time, and I know how you would do things, especially when things can't move. So like you're trying to make pipes like this, but they can't move at all and they can't move this way. So you have to somehow get like a coupling in there. So you like cut it and then you figure out what has give and slide a coupling on one way a little, and slide it on the other. And there's a technique to it.
Yeah.
And but then dad sat down with me after I had everything ready to go and he glued the wrong piece onto the wrong fitting and he glued it so far in that we like it lost any give so it couldn't work. And then he immediately knocked over the glue and got it all over the tools. And the whole time he's panicking, he's like, oh, Joe, no, no. And then like the then a couple days later, I went to the bakery and Kit and John were there, and they were building a cart, like a rack. And on the very bottom of the rack, Kit and John, when I showed up, they most of it was done, and they were trying to put the wheels on, and they're jamming this like metal piece of the wheel that goes around a corner, like a corner on the bottom, into the corner of the rack itself. And I
Yeah.
was like, given how much force they're trying to put to this and like apply to this to make it work, guaranteed they're throwing everything else out of whack and it's not going to work. So something's wrong here. And like, if this is wrong, then what else is wrong? So I looked at, I was like, do you have the box of like a finished thing so you can see what it looks like or the instructions or anything? They're like, nope. And I found like one sheet of paper that it showed like the bottom corner of the wheels. And sure enough, they had the wheel on the wrong corner. And then after we put the wheels on, we stood it up and we tried fixing other things. And then I noticed that they like a bolt and a screw that are going in, you're supposed to put it into like the holes like bigger and then it's little. And you're supposed to put it in and then like slide it down into the little section so it stays there. They didn't do that. So you could actually slide every part of the rack, just the bolts right out of the hole. So the whole thing could just come apart anymore. So I just redid everything they did